and welcome to another episode of The Naked Truth. I am your host, Dr. Tracy Andrews, and it's so good to be with you again on today, on this great day of September the 10th. We thank you for tuning in. Today's topic is a very good topic, but before we go there, I want to first of all say, hey, look, we want to dedicate this episode to my late brother, Willie T Andrews, who will be funeralized on this week in Crowley, Louisiana. Get your rest, my boy. God bless you. Amen. So today we want to talk about another topic. I was just in the barbershop today, and this topic came up, and I think folks are very much interested in it also. So today's topic is this: does Black Lives matter, or does green money matter? And why you come up with this topic? Well, the reason that this topic came up is because on today, on Thursday, September the 10th, on this afternoon, tonight, whatever you want to call it, the NFL will kick off its season on tonight. And tonight they are allowing the national anthem to be sung. And the national anthem that they're singing is "Lift Every Voice and Sing." Now, brothers and sisters, you know that that's a big turnaround from where we were last year at this time. I say this, let's just keep it 100. Let's talk about it. My wife say, hey, you need to remember you're an academician also. But when I'm sitting down in front of this microphone, I'm speaking to you from the black perspective, not saying that black folk, not saying that all of them use Ebonics, but I like to use Ebonics. I feel freer when I'm allowed to speak the way I want to speak. So at this time, I'm going to say this, let's keep it 100. First things first, tonight we're going to sing "Lift Every Voice" at an NFL game. All of the players will be allowed to protest in their own way. They can wear stickers. They can wear Black Lives Matter. Roger Goodell said, hey, it's about time that we get with the people and look at social justice. So my question today is, are they really interested in Black Lives Matter? Or are we really interested in all green money matter? Now, I want to say this. I'm going to put this in a disclaimer at the beginning of this podcast and say that for most black folk, you can forget boycotting an NFL game. That's not going to happen. Long as the TV's coming on, black folk gonna watch TV. We love it. We love sports all together. Love the NBA. We love baseball. But when it comes to football, you're not going to find too many folk boycotting no game. Let's just keep that 100. So, but I want to say this. The majority of the players on the field and on any NFL team are black and brown players. The problem is, and this is where we are. Let's look at it. The problem is the players are black and brown, the majority of them anyway, but the owners are majority white. And many of them support our current president, Donald Trump. So, for them to allow their players to kneel down during the national anthem is like a slap in the face to the president and some of the other constituents that they have. So, look, they're in a very catch-22 position right here today. But, I want to say this too. Colin Kaepernick in 2016, this brother knelt down during the national anthem when it was not popular. And we know what happened to Colin Kaepernick, man. The man lost his career. He lost a lot of money, but he gained major respect from not only black folk, he gained it from white folk, he gained it from other Hispanics. All over the world, people started respecting Colin Kaepernick. That was in 2016. Here we are today, September the 10th, 2020. And after the death of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and the almost killing of Jacob Blake, now all of a sudden the NFL, Roger Goodell and many of the other coaches, general managers, they all saying now, hey, it's time for us to get on board with social justice. And you know what? I wish that all of them that are saying this mean it from their heart, because it really is time to get involved and get with social justice. But the only way that we're going to change things You know, we can change, and I'm glad to see these NFL players stick together in unison and speak with one voice. That's very important. But I want to say this to all NFL players, all NBA players, all Major League Baseball players. Listen, if you really want to change the systematic racism in America, I want to challenge every one of you to go back to your hometown, put in a press release, and say, I want to meet all of the young people, the old people, and everyone at the voting polls, and you go and vote with them if you can. And let's draw folks out to vote, because the only way that we're going to change things in America, man, we're going to have to vote. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. It didn't sit well with some of my own people, but I will say it this. Burning down buildings, protesting. We've been saying we shall overcome and marching for, man, decades. But yet police are still killing black folk in the open daylight, okay, and things are not changing. We still seeing systematic racism when it comes to banking, when it comes to lending. You know, they'll give you $50,000 to buy a Lincoln Navigator, but they won't give you $20,000 to buy a house in your community. You know, there's something wrong with that, brother. Something is wrong with that. But here we go. Here's the question again. Does Black Lives matter, or does green money matter? All of these coaches, I have to get close and personal, because remember, this is the naked truth. And we don't make the news, we just report the news from the black perspective. You know, we have Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, who until recently, as a matter of fact, last month, in his radio or television interview, he actually said that, hey, we're going to allow our players to, you know, do whatever needs to be done, but we hope that everyone keep an open mind. What does that mean? Okay? What does that mean? You know, and we know that how Jerry Jones felt previously about his players kneeling down during the national anthem. He called that blatant disrespect, and you know, but not looking at it from the point of view of the players. And let me tell you something. Look, when those players take those pads off and they get from underneath those lights and they get in their cars and drive back to their communities, they catch the same hell that we other African Americans catch in America. So to them, hey, they know what Black Lives Matter means. You know, they understand that, hey, man, we playing up against a system that is systematically set to hinder our progress. The NFL says it's time for a change. But, you know, they have been very inconsistent when we look at how they've used diversity in the NFL. How many black coaches do you see in the NFL? How many general managers, how many black owners do we have in the NFL? When it comes to diversity, when it comes to inclusion, and when it comes to equality, you know, there's a problem with the NFL. And I say this, you want to really start making some changes? Why don't we fix it where some African American investors can actually purchase an NFL team? If you want to really say it's time for a change, let's make the real change, because two things will get people attention: votes and money. And I really believe tonight, as we kick off the NFL season, a lot of what we're seeing is not necessarily something that many of these owners agree with, but they do agree with the fact that if these guys start protesting and we have to postpone these games, somebody's not going to make some money, okay? And I want you to understand, look, this is a multi-billion-dollar business, the NFL, the NBA and the MLA, you know, all of this. We're talking about big, big money. It's estimated that the Dallas Cowboys alone is worth $5.5 billion. Just to think that Jerry Jones purchased the Dallas Cowboys in 1989 and paid $150 million for it in 1989. And here we are, what, 31 years later, that $150 million investment now is in tune to $5.5 billion, okay? So we know that we're talking about money. We're talking about money here, okay? So the problem, we know what the problem is, okay? We know what the problem is. But we have to find a way to solve the problem. And you think about it, how do black folk feel about the fact that, we look at these games, we watch the game, we go to the game, we do all of these things. We want the NFL to respect our point of view, but even more than that, we want the NFL to allow us. If we feel like our constitutional rights have been violated, like Kaepernick just felt that very plain. He said, hey, I'm kneeling because of social injustice in America and because of police brutality. And he said that, he said it, he meant it, he did what he said he was going to do. So tonight, as we kick off the NFL season, okay, and I'm really going to be paying close attention to the coaches, the players, and think about this. Let's do this too. Think about this. There are some players like Drew Brees, okay, of New Orleans Saints, my team, who came out first, and he was not on board when it comes to not standing during the national anthem. But after he got a little coaching and was taken to the woodshed, so to speak, he seems to have come on board, not only with just his words, but I understand that he's actually donating money now to help to alleviate the problem that we have as African Americans in America. But I say all this, all this is good, dandy, and fine, but we have to mean it from our heart. We say Black Lives Matter. I'm looking at the NFL. I'm looking at Roger Goodell, because believe one thing, Roger Goodell is going to catch hell tonight. He going to catch it tomorrow and next week. And as long as these players keep kneeling and they keep wearing Black Lives Matter on their helmets, putting it in the end zone and everything, he going to catch natural hell. And y'all know the president going to have something to say. Now, you can believe one thing. We're going to have part 2 to this discussion. And not only Donald Trump, man, you have a lot of conservatives, you have some Republicans, many of them who are not on board with this. They respond by saying all lives matter. And listen, I know all lives matter. I know that. But I do know this too. When Jesus had 100 sheep, he left the 99 and went to look for the one sheep that was lost, that needed help, okay? And that's what we're saying when we talk about Black Lives Matter. Man, we're not saying white lives don't matter. Of course white lives matter. But we're saying white lives, the police not killing whites like they killing blacks. And I know some of the folk didn't like that, but hey, let's tell you look at if 300 whites died at the hand of police, okay? And 275 died at the hands, 275 blacks died at the hands of the police. We would say, oh, they killing more whites than they killing black. No, they're not. You have to look at the population. You have to look at what we call the percentage of the population per 100,000 people. And when you look at it from that standpoint, we getting killed probably 7-8 times more than white folk. Okay? So, keep it 100, keep it real. This is the naked truth. I look forward to seeing the game tonight. Great game. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Houston Texans tonight. Hope you be tuned in. And once again, thank you for tuning in to the Naked Truth. We look forward to seeing you real soon. God bless you.